What's up, goodies? Welcome back to your girl channel and to my kitchen, how to cook. And today I'm here with your requested recipe. You wanted me to show you how I turn up my seafood boil? No, not regular seafood boil, vegan seafood boil in the kitchen. Fast, easy, and simple. I'm gonna show you just how. You know, I had to throw in the regular seafood for husband and baby girl. The link for that one will be in my description box, so go ahead and check that one out. It turned up loud just as well. Now I did make the sauce as well, so you will get the price of like $3.52 for one. Yes, goodie. Now be sure that you subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on the post notifications, so this way you will be the first to know whenever I upload brand new videos. And for all I'm returning goodie, I don't know, send the girl never know. When I'm ready for cook, let's cook. Okay, goodies, let's jump right into this wicked seafood boil, this vegan seafood boil recipe. Let's talk about the ingredients. Now, the very first thing that we are going to talk about is our mushroom here. And this is a specific kind of a mushroom. This is a king oyster mushroom, okay? It has like a seafood kind of a flavor and a texture, okay? Now, however, I'm going to cut off the end part on bottom because we are going to use that to make our vegan shrimp. Okay, all right, so now here I'm going to add some sausages to it, and these vegan sausages is plant-based, 100% plant-based, and I did buy this one in Kroger supermarket, and I do buy my sausages online on Amazon as well sometime. All right, now you're also going to need of course your potatoes and your corn. We're going to add some seafood seasoning here. You could use Old Bay if you have it, a little bit of salt, and some cane sugar. Organic cane sugar is what I'm using here. Now over here I have a pot, and that pot has about 8 cups of water. You're also going to go ahead and just add your potatoes and your corn into the water. You don't want to put it into cold water. Make sure that your water is boiling just like mine is right here. All right, so you go ahead and add that there. Now we are going to season the water. You don't want to boil your potatoes and your corn and anything else that you might put in that water just like that. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and add 3 tablespoons of the cane sugar, and I'm also going to have about 2 tablespoons of my seafood seasoning. You could substitute that for Old Bay seasoning, and 1 teaspoon of salt. All right, and that is added to 8 cups of water. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to let this come to a bubble, and we're going to come right back here in about 10 minutes. You just want to let it bubble for 10 minutes because we're going to add some more things into that, but we need them corn for a flavor, right? So be sure that you season your water really well. Now moving right along, you want to go ahead and give your mushroom a nice wash, rinse under cold running water, because sometimes mushroom have a tendency to have dirt on it. So you want to be sure that you wash it thoroughly and make sure it's nice and clean before you move on. All right, cold running water only. Now you want to just go ahead and just move this right along. All right, we're going to do some magic with these mushrooms here. Now I did go ahead and cut off the ends like I said, because I am going to use the ends to make the shrimp, and I'll show you how I did my shrimp later on. So just keep watching. All right, big things is going to happen in this recipe, all right, in this video. All right, so we'll put that aside. Now your mushroom, we want to make sure that these mushrooms have flavor on the inside. So what you want to do is either get a fork or a knife and just make little holes in it. My camera is shaking because I'm holding the camera with my left hand and I'm working with my right. All right, so it is what it is, girl. I multitask. Now we're going to go in and just add our sausages here. We're going to add these to the pot. But let's talk about this right here and just get our shrimp ready. We're not going to put that in the pot until it is 10 minutes boiling. Now all you have to do is get your processor and add your mushroom and 1.5 cup of cooked black eye peas only. All right, now I'm going to add my nutritional yeast flakes here. I'm using a 1.25 cup of my nutritional yeast flakes. All right, now you want to season up the mixture because you want it to have flavor. Now I'm using this particular seafood seasoning, but like I said, you could use any kind of other seasoning that you have. Go ahead and use that. And you want to add at least a tablespoon of seasoning to the mix. I'm not measuring anything here, but I pretty much know the amount. All right, so you go ahead and just add about a tablespoon here, cover it up, and let it do its magic on high, because what we're looking for here is for the mixture to be nice and smooth. You want the mixture to be nice and smooth. You don't want your shrimp, your vegan shrimp, to have chunks of the black beans in it. All right, some of you might say that you don't like black eye beans. You want to use something else. You could probably substitute that for chickpeas. All right, the chickpeas will work good. Chickpeas is good for vegan recipes, right? So we can go ahead and use that. But for this recipe, I like the flavor of the black eyed peas, so that's why we're using this for the shrimp. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just move them and move it around, and I'm gonna go back in and give it a nice little mix again, because I want to make sure that this mixture is smooth to the touch. All right, so when I'm making the shrimp, it don't have no chunky business in it. So I go ahead and give it another mix again for another minute or so until it was nice and smooth, and I liked it the way that it looked it, and then I was ready to move on. All right, so here we go. After about, I'll say maybe about 3 minutes or so, it looked like that. Perfect, nice and smooth, and trust me, it tastes really good. You do not want to use cooked beans. All right, please do not use cooked beans for the recipe. Now moving right along, in another container like a flat plate, you want to go ahead and add your water to it. You're going to need your rice paper for sure. Go ahead and add your rice paper into that warm water. Make sure the water warm. Do not use cold water because the processes take too long to soften up your rice paper. So make sure your water is warm. Okay, it takes about 10 seconds or 15 seconds or so. Then you lay it out on your surface, and you want to start adding your mixture. Now remember, we are mimicking shrimp. Okay, so you want this to look as close to how shrimp is looking for sure. So this is how I make my shrimp when I'm doing vegan, anything that I need to make a vegan shrimp recipe, right? So whatever you do, you want to be sure that you tighten it up. Make sure that it sits nice and tight into the rice paper. At the end of the bottom part right there, you want to make sure that it shapes like a triangle, and the top part is bigger, right? Eka cone. Okay, if that makes any sense. And all you have to do there when you have achieved this look, okay, is just go ahead and bend it, because guess what? Shrimp bend, right? Yes, it does. So you just go ahead and just make a little curve just like that. And I'm making big jumbo shrimp here, but you don't have to make it this big like I'm doing here. You could definitely make it smaller, but do not use more than one rice paper per shrimp. All right, make sure that you do that. Don't make it thick. You want to only use one rice paper, and it should look like that. And again, I'm doing jumbo shrimp, but you could always make yours small as you like. Now over here, it's been 10 minutes since my potatoes and corn has been cooking in that flavorful liquid. All right, so now what we're going to do here is go ahead and add the mushrooms in, the oyster mushrooms in. Now these mushrooms are totally different from any other mushrooms. The texture is more denser, so it will not fall apart no matter how long you cook it. The longer you cook it, the better the flavor is going to be. But you want to be sure that you make holes on the mushroom so that the liquid goes right into the mushroom and give it flavor. After about 18 minutes of cooking, right, the potatoes are nice and tender. The corn is filled with nut but mad flavor. Just go ahead and kind of pinch it again. Just poke it with a fork or a knife, and it is all set to go. You just want to make sure that you get that liquid that's in the pot, because remember that is seasoned the water. The flavor is going to go right into your oh, my mouth is watering already and the thing never done yet. You want to make sure that it goes right into the mushrooms, because you want to be sure when you bite into it, it have nothing but flavor, like goodness of flavor, seafood flavor, honey. Yes, so all you have to do here after 18 minutes of cooking, go ahead and just set it aside and make it go and chill out, right? You're going to leave everything else in the pot, shut the heat off, and sit it aside, because this is done right here. And that right there is some wicked flavor a bubble up with the corn and the potatoes and everything else, right? Now, this is what your shrimp is going to look like when it's all ready and all done. You want to be sure, though, to place your shrimp on a parchment paper, so that way if it sweats, it doesn't fall apart, okay? It's going to get nice and dry like this. If you do this and sit it overnight in your refrigerator, just cover it up nice and put it in your refrigerator, it is going to have an even better texture than mine. Mine was only sitting for a few minutes and it still come out nice, right? Yours would be perfect if you let it sit for a little longer than mine. But yeah, jumbo shrimp is always right there. So now I'm going to talk about our oyster mushroom here. As you can see, it's nicely cooked and it's bending perfectly, just like king crab legs, right? So we're going to season that thing up with some flour and all of that stuff. But let's talk about what we're going to use for the mixture. In here, I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour and 1 1/4 cup of cornstarch. We're going to season that flour. So we need a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. We need some cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon, 1 tablespoon of paprika, and 1 teaspoon of salt. All right. So we go ahead and just put that into our flour and cornstarch mix. Start mixing that around. But before you do that, I have 2 tablespoons of flaxseed there, right? We're going to add it to this container here, okay? And then we're going to add some milk. Remember, we are veganizing this thing from start to finish. So you want to use some kind of a plant-based milk. My choice here is the almond milk, and I like the vanilla flavor, so that's what I'm choosing to use here. But of course, you could use whatever kind of a milk that you so please. Make sure, however, though, that you mix everything together here thoroughly. Do not forget to put the baking powder. I almost did. I did add a 1/2 teaspoon of it to the flour mix. And just continue to mix that around. You can also go ahead, taste your flour, because maybe the seasonings might be not enough for you, or maybe it might be too much for you. Just go ahead and just taste your flour, just to make sure everything is sitting proper and you like the flavor that's coming back at you before you move on with your next step. All right, but right here was perfect for me. I didn't need to add anything else. Make sure that you mix your flaxseed and your milk. This is the most perfect egg substitute. When you're vegan, this is the way to go, honey. The way to go. Perfect. All right. Now, all you have to do here is simple. Just go ahead and just dunk your king crab legs, honey. Your mushroom cake. Yeah, just dunk it all in there. Now, it would have been better if you let it sit for even 15 minutes. But honey, your homegirl not having the time for all of that. I just let it just roll up in there for a couple of seconds and throw it in the flour, honey. And I was ready to move on to frying, all right? But like I said before, if you have time on your hands and you want it to just marinate up some of that milk flavor, let it sit for at least 15 minutes before you move on, okay? I definitely did double dip though, because I wanted mine to have that extra crunch. So I did double dip. That is totally optional. You could just dip only once and you're good to go. Either way, it's going to come out fine. All you're trying to do here is just fry up these bad boys and make it have a nice like a golden brown crisp and looking perfect, just like you would do king crab legs. Now in the container, you want to make sure that you put some of that flour in there, because once you put it in there, you don't want it to start sweating. So when you add the flour to the plate, it's going to eliminate that problem. And then you just do the same thing with your shrimp. And just go ahead and put it into the flour mix and just kind of tap it in there, tap the flour in there. and you're good to go. That is it. Now, good, if you're still watching me cooking this far, please, y'all, go ahead and hit that subscribe, honey. And don't forget to turn your notification on, because the notification is critical. It doesn't matter if you subscribed or not. If your notification is not on, you will never know when I upload brand new contents, all right? And you don't want to miss anything like this. I'm trying to bring as much recipe as I can for the coming holidays, all right? All right, so now my oil here is at a 350 degrees. You want to make sure that you place these bad boys into some nice hot oil. If your oil is cold, it is going to fall apart. So make sure that your oil is at a 350 degrees. As soon as you put it in there, it starts to fry immediately. It does take about 6 minutes top. It doesn't take that long to fry, because remember, your mushrooms are already cooked before, all right? So it's already nice and tender. You just want it to have that little fry look on the outside. You know what I said? Nice and fry, golden brown, okay? So 6 minutes is all you need right there with your heat at a 350 degrees, okay? No higher than that, because everything is going to burn up. It's going to burn up the seafood boil. Now, all I'm doing here is just sit them aside. I'm not taking them out of the oil. I'm just sitting them aside in the corner right this up, and I'm just going to go ahead and add the vegan shrimp to the mix. All right, and it does take maybe about the same amount of time like the crab legs did. So now I'm just going to go ahead and just remove the crab legs out there, nice and golden brown. They are perfect, and we're just going to do the same thing here with the shrimp. Yeah, you don't want to overcrowd the pan at all, because you want to give it space to breathe, like I'm doing here, 4 at a time, and then we go ahead and just fry up the rest. Just push those aside, just like we did earlier. All right, cool down the heat just a little bit when you do that. So don't worry about those burning. They are fine because you cool down the temperature, right? And then you just go ahead and just remove those as well and finish up the remainder of the batch. Yes, goodie, I do hope that you are enjoying the recipe thus far, right? Again, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're still there watch. You know what I say? All right, so now that looks all done. Look at the texture of those shrimp, honey. Perfection at its finest. Yes, they are looking good and they are smelling amazing. It's like I wanted to eat it just like that. Can you imagine just dip that in some sauce just like that? Oh my goodness, perfect, nice. Yes, those are looking really good. Just follow the process, y'all, and you're gonna have perfect vegan seafood balls, okay? That is my king crab legs right here. We're just going to add those in. Now, we're also going to make our sauce here as promised. So you want to make sure that you have a very large onion and slice those up. But, honey, girlfriend, yeah, listen, goodie, me I go to everything. From 1 to 3 to 4 to 5. Y'all getting it all today. Because, honey, I'm in a cooking mood, all right? So that's why your girl is bringing this one. You get probably 3 recipes all in one. The shrimp, the sauce, yeah, everything. A treat. Just enjoy the ride. Alrighty, make sure you have your vegan butter, of course, because you are going to need it. Okay, vegan butter only for the recipe. And this is what your shrimp and your king crab leg looks like. You just want to go ahead and sit it aside, and you're all done with that process. Now, in my pan here, I do have some vegan butter, a lot of butter, and a lot of garlic. I don't even know exactly how much I have, but I can tell you this. The more butter, the better, right? Now, I have my fire here at a medium heat, a low to medium heat, because as far as my sauce is concerned, I like when it takes its time to cook. Now, if I was making garlic butter sauce, I would have stopped right here, just add some herbs to it and some seasonings, and onions, and I would have been done. Yeah, I'm gonna make some butter sauce one of them day phone, all right? Now here I'm adding my tomato paste, because I love tomato paste in my sauce, all right? I'm adding about a half of that. Maybe use some later on as needed, but you don't want to add all at the same time. I just use like half out of the can just to get started. Now I'm going to give it some flavor. So here I'm adding some onion powder, and I'm not measuring anything. It is taste as you go until you get the taste what you want, right? Then I'm adding some garlic powder here, okay? And then to the onion and garlic powder, I'm also adding some black pepper, okay? Then you want to give it more flavor. So we're adding our chili powder here. Kick it up a notch. You have to have chili powder in here. Seafood sauce. And then to the chili powder, we are going in with our seafood seasoning. And of course, you could add any other kind of a seafood seasoning that you like. It will work just fine. I just happen to have that one at hand, okay? A little bit of salt because you want it definitely to have some flavor. We are going to dilute with water anyway. And then we're going to add about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to it. I know that's I'm assuming that's a tablespoon, okay? And I'm also going to add some lemon juice or fresh lemon will be fine. Taste as you go, honey. Taste as you go. Now let's get the herbs in. We're going to add some basil to it. All right. And to the basil, anything that looks green, we're going to add some oregano. Okay. And then to the oregano, we are going to add some parsley. Parsley, honey. Throw that damn parsley up in there because you can't have seafood boil without parsley, okay? So we add that parsley up in there. I'm going to add some red pepper flakes to it. Not a whole lot because, honey, me not like pepper. But we're going to add some of that because it's kind of a must. A little bit kind of must. Yeah, so we add just a couple of flakes of that in there. And, honey, that is looking oh so good already. Give it a nice little mix and allow the tomato paste to melt. We want to do that. Now here is where you're going to decide if you want to add water or if you want to add vegetable stock or vegetable broth. Know that you could also make your own vegetable stock at home. All right, very simple. All right, now I almost forget to put my ginger. Thank God I did not forget. You could add fresh ginger, but I decided to go powder here. And again, I did not measure anything. It's just taste as you go. Now, I decided to add water to it. All right. And it's pour as you go as well. Okay. Pour as you go. The water is just going to dilute the mixture and give it the texture that you might need. I'm assuming I did add maybe about a cup of water altogether. And then I added the onions. All right. Know that after the onions are caramelized all the way down, nice and cooked, the mixture is going to go down. The liquid is going to go down because the onion is going to absorb some of that liquid. Then you're going to go back and add either your water again, and you're going to go back and add either your vegetable stock. Now, you have to taste as you go. Trust me. You have to taste as you go and decide if it tastes the way how you want it. Because remember, I'm using water here, so I had to taste as I go just to make sure that I didn't lose any flavor, okay? So all I'm doing here is just making sure everything is nicely covered. My fire again is at a medium heat, okay? As you can see, everything looks good already, but it is not done. I needed the flavor from the onion to start making its magic into the liquid itself. So I went ahead and decided to add just a little bit of sugar. I did add probably about 2 tablespoons of the brown cane sugar, and I did add just a little bit more of the tomato paste, okay? Like I said, making your sauce, it's not a measurement of such. Maybe later on, I'll probably come up with some measurements, but it is like a taste as you go. Every time you add a spice to it, you taste it to see if that's the way that you like it, all right? Just if it's too thick, you know you're going to have to add some water to it, or if you're using stock, you could have chicken stock, you could have beef stock, whatever kind of a stock that you choose to use, or water. But if you add water, you might have to add some more spices to it, okay? Like I had to do here. I had to add a little bit more of the tomato paste to give it back that little sweetener taste, all right? After it's been cooking for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes on that low to medium heat, honey, my onions are cooked nice and tender. Everything looks amazing. The aroma, honey, is to die for, but don't die, right? But the aroma is everything. Oh my goodness, this sauce is the bomb. It is perfect for any kind of a seafood boil that you are making. And I did make a regular seafood boil for daughter and hubby, honey, and you will see that later on. I just did a simple shrimp seafood boil. I do have one of that already on this channel, so I will try to list that one in my description box. But as you can see over here to the right, that is the seafood boil for hubby and daughter, and my vegan seafood boil is over here. But all we have to do here is just get the sauce. Oh, look on the sauce, so it look nice, Lord. Now know that the longer your sauce sits is the better it's gonna taste. So if you cook your sauce, you could go ahead and just cool it down, let it cool, and then put it in your refrigerator and let it sit for overnight. And the next day you use it, it is going to have a taste like nothing out of this world. Flawless. It's like it marinates and does something different from when you just get done cooking it. The thing is so good, so divine. And look at that, y'all. That is amazing. All right, nice. And that right there is for daughter and hubby's seafood boil, because they don't eat vegan food, only me alone. But oh my goodness, it looks good, but I don't miss it. Okay, I'm okay over on the other side. All I did was just add some parsley to their seafood boil and some paprika, just for color, you know, make it look nice and fancy and pretty. And that was it, and they were all good to go. All good to go. I know my camera is all over the place because I am using one hand, honey. Balance. All right, so this is my seafood boil. My king crab legs is nice and crispy and crunchy. My potatoes are tender. My corn is ready. My sausage is ready. My shrimp is ready, and it's waiting for my sauce, honey. My sauce is saying, ooh la la, look at that. Oh, the seafood boil is everything. My vegan seafood boil, trust me, nice. I gotta tell you, goody, this I've done vegan seafood boils before, and I do have one on my I do have one on my home decor channel that I did show a long time ago, but I never ever did a vegan seafood boil on here on this channel. So welcome to this one. I hope you did enjoy it, because the thing turned up loud, massively loud. Look at that, y'all. Seafood, vegan seafood boil, never get no better than that. Look at that sauce. Just take a really good look at that sauce. Oh my goodness, the thing is looking so good, and it tastes amazing. And all I did here was the same thing, but sprinkle a little bit more of the dried parsley all over the baby this, and add some paprika to it. And let me tell you something, the thing was so nice. Oh my goodness. When you boil your potatoes with seasonings, the thing is massive. That is it, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you did enjoy the recipe. All right, don't forget to share this good love with all your friends and family. Tell them what's cooking up over here. Bring them, come and send them, come. I'm waiting. After they get doing that, tell me what you like to have me cooking next in my kitchen. And remember, as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, enjoy.